What is up, everybody? Welcome to Fresh Take. Vicky, how are you?
I am good, can't complain. How are you?
I am doing well. We got Halo and Moon Knight this week. So, first up is thoughts on Moon Knight, episode 2, Summon the Suit. Vicky, you want to start this one off?
I thought it was very well done. Like I said last time, I was never invested in the Moon Knight character, but I am enjoying this very wild ride. And it's never good to serve a god. It's never good to be a servant of God. Uh, these gods with a little g, um, will jack you up. And that's what we're seeing. He's essentially, I don't want to go too far because that's a little bit further down. But overall, I enjoyed all the madness of it. It was very well done.
It was a very interesting episode, to say the least. I agree with you on that. It was very interesting. I enjoyed it myself. Um, I like the fact that it's making you think about who's right and who's wrong and who's getting played and who's it's kind of interesting here.
Anybody who says they're the good guy is never the good guy. And so Mark had a whole wife.
Yeah.
Was married. So and wasn't in that country that he's currently in.
No. Wasn't in England.
Was not there. So and so at that time he had control over what's the host?
Steven.
Steven. Okay, I thought it was Steven, but I didn't know if I was so Mark had Steven's body completely in control. So in that time period that Mark was married, chasing after the scarab with the wife, living a life. Where was Steven? Was Steven just missing just huge chunks of his time? It didn't sound like Steven was, didn't sound like Mark was always in Steven. So
it's confusing. They're going to have to explain that.
Yeah, like Steven's mom didn't realize that something was seriously wrong with her child.
Steven's mom doesn't exist. But yeah, that person he calls is not his mom.
So who?
I don't know who he's calling.
Okay, then where's Steven's family?
That's a good question.
Where's Steven's family that nobody in Steven's life realized when he living a whole nother life?
Yeah. Here's the thing. Like with that in the comics, Mark is the actual
host.
He's the actual dominant
identity. That's what it felt like. Mark was the host.
Yeah.
The original, not Steven. That's what I thought. I was like, wait, is Mark the original?
That's why I'm a little confused too, because they're gonna have to spend an episode at least explaining what happened on that mission, on that Merc mission to Egypt the first time, because he does get left for dead, and that's how Khonshu gets him involved in being the Moon Knight. But in the comics, Mark is the actual dominant identity. It's not Steven. So I'm a little bit confused like that a little bit, because I'm like, that doesn't make sense. But that's what the little I know from the comic. So, and once again, I'm glad they're not doing all 9. They're just doing two identities, because
we're confused enough. The last episode, you could throw in a third one, and that would make sense. But that, I couldn't right now. I can't handle a third one right now.
Yeah.
It's 6 episodes, right?
It's only 6 episodes. Yeah.
On the 6th episode, throw in a third one at the very end, and I'll be okay with that. But
yeah,
I can't handle a third one right now.
Yeah, right now we got too much going on. I do like his wife, Layla. I like her. She's actually pretty cool. I feel bad for Steven though. Like the Steven I kind of feel bad. He's trying. He really
He wants
is.
to do the right thing. But he, if I was to wake up tomorrow with the Moon Knight thing happening, right?
Yeah.
And you want to do the right thing, but Steven is just gullible and stupid at this point. There's doing the right thing and then there's not being dumb. And he has been making poor decisions left and right. Like, I would be like, okay, I don't want people to think I'm crazy. I want to protect myself. I don't know what my other personality got me in. I'm not going to the cops. I am not going to work. I'm not, like, there's so many things I would not do. And if somebody's chasing after me because something my other personality did, I'm not going to go to that person and talk to them and be like, well, let's make a deal. No, that is dumb. Be like, I am not going to stay at my flat where I'll be easily accessible. I am not telling anybody my real name, because if I wake up in a different country, I'm like, what the heck happened? I'm not saying, oh, I just saw a dude kill somebody. I'm blah, 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 blah from, here's my address, here's my whole information. No, I'm not saying that. I'm giving you a fake name, fake place that I work at. And I'll be like, that's not, I don't know.
I mean, he's making bad decisions and poor judgment, and it's leading to some very interesting issues for him. I will say I did like the fact that when he went back to his job to try to show people what happened, it makes him look crazy. It's making him look crazy because it's making him doubt his own sanity. So I'm actually liking that aspect of it, because we know as the viewer that he's not crazy. There was a hellhound chasing him. So we know as a viewer he's not crazy. Mm-hmm. But the fact that Ethan Hawke's character has like people all over the city already, that's one reason why I wouldn't have went back. You go back and you see all the people with the things on, like, dude, you should not be going back to your job. This is when you call out for a week and say you got COVID or something. Just exactly. Call for a week. When you
disappear. This is your time to disappear.
And then he finds his Mark's bag with all the passports and the money. I find the money. That means I'm out. I find the money. I'm out. Me and Mark can have a discussion on a plane to Bora Bora. I'm not gonna be trying to figure things out. Also, yeah, he's way too trusting and way too gullible. But I think that actually helps out story-wise, just because if he wasn't, and Mark just took over, it'd just be a bloodbath for the first 2 episodes, which in and of itself would probably be hilariously awesome to see. Just saying from a personal standpoint. But yeah, comedic timing on point. Horror elements took a little bit of a backslide, I think, this week, but that's because they were setting things up. They still do cool stuff with the camera work. I'm liking what they do with the camera in Moon Knight to get like to make the visuals pop a little bit better. I actually kind of like that. I will say the introduction of his suit, like, so Steven summons at the end of the episode, Steven winds up summoning the suit, but it's not like the suit that Mark has. He actually summons a white suit. The suit was clean. The suit was clean. I'm not gonna lie.
The suit was nice.
Yeah, it just wasn't the suit like it's supposed to be. And there's a joke, Mark makes a joke about it. I thought it was funny about him being like Colonel Sanders or something. But I'm like, dude, the suit was clean. Now, he did get a punch on the second Hellhound. He got a punch in on him, but he got waxed. Mm-hmm. He just got straight up beat. So I think it's cool to actually have like them contrasting themselves. So yes, Steven theoretically can summon the suit, but he's still Steven. So and that's a problem. But when Mark put the suit, when he let Mark take over, yeah, I'm like, okay, I see how the action's gonna flow probably from now on, because by the end of the episode, Mark is in full control. And I like the fact that the main reason why he's doing this, we found a little reason that's the main reason why, because Khonshu was basically going to take Layla.
Yeah, he's basically blackmailing him. He was like, if I don't have you to do exactly what I want, then I am
I'd
going
take your
to
wife.
take your wife. So
But I also think that Mark should have told Steven that, because if he would have just been straight up with Steven, I think Steven would have been better. He probably would have made better decisions. But because he didn't tell him that, like, we didn't know that Khonshu was doing that, was going to take Layla. We didn't know that until the end of the episode. Like, so I'm like, dude, you probably could have told Steven that. Like, you really probably could have told him that. Because I think he would have made some better decisions had you been a little bit more upfront with him.
I don't think he would have.
He was making
poor decisions.
I mean, the amount of poor decisions he made in this episode is like here. I think like if Mark would have told him, he would have brought them down to here. He still would have had a whole It just wouldn't have been like the 10 over the limit that he did. But yeah, I think it's making for a very interesting series. And I think at the end of this episode, we end up back in Egypt. So I'm guessing next episode is going to be the flashback episode of what happened the first time, I'm guessing.
Probably, yeah.
Because at the end of this episode, Ethan Hawke's character gets the scarab. So yeah, we're on a road trip to Egypt with Mark taking over. So I expect the violence and action to ratchet up.
Oh yeah,
a little bit, and the hilarious antics of Steven to take a backseat next week. So there's that. Overall, though, once again, another tight episode, another nicely written episode. Like, I did like the back and forth between Harrow and Steven about like premeditative justice.
Yeah, I like that Steven, the dingbat that he is.
Yeah,
he was like, wait a minute. So you kill a kid who might do something 30 years from now? And then that's when it kind of clicked for him. Like, all right, well, you're not cool either.
Yeah.
I'm a head out. And then his wife tries to save him. But like, at least Steven is not a complete lost cause.
Yeah. He has his issues, but he's not bad. He's basically a decent guy who just is in an extraordinary situation. And he's never been in it before. Mm-hmm. So like there are parts of the episode where him and Mark are talking where you like, oh, so I'm a spy. He's like, not exactly. So he's thinking it's cool because he doesn't do stuff like this.
Yeah.
But also he's making bad decisions.
Very, very poor decisions.
So, but yeah, I did like the back and forth because at that point you're like, okay, so yeah, like you said, Steve's not a complete lost cause. He's like, wait a minute, this ain't right. Like, dude, that doesn't make any sense. Like you saying that, because that essentially is wrong. You can't kill somebody for something they haven't done.
Yeah, I mean, isn't that what Minority Report?
Yeah, basically showed. Yeah, like because you don't know if they're gonna do something that's not proven. So. Overall, yeah. I'm not gonna go as far as to say right now it's my favorite of the Marvel shows. Right now, my favorite is still Falcon and Winter Soldier, followed closely by What If, followed real closely by What If, but it's up there. Moon Knight's getting there. It might overtake What If. It might overtake What If.
Falcon, Moon Knight,
Loki, WandaVision,
Hawkeye.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Huh.
So
yeah, I'm gonna still put Falcon first. And I don't know what goes on after that. Loki might actually be next, and then What If?
Yeah. Because for me, my favorite is Falcon, and then it's What If.
Plus, you need Moon Knight to finish.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Two great episodes.
Yeah.
You don't know what the rest is gonna be.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I'm not gonna go that far yet and say it's the best ever. No, is it good? Yes, it's good. It's good. Very interesting. And like I said, I'm seeing how they're gonna go about entering the supernatural side of Marvel, i.e., Midnight Suns, Blade, Ghost Rider. I see how they're gonna do it because if you can get creative with your camera, and which they have these first two episodes. You can mess with people's heads a lot. Like you don't have to focus on like the gore and all the horror element stuff. You can just play with the camera and mess with people's heads.
And I think it's smart that they went with Moon Knight as their first
First.
one, roll the dice with, because you're like, we're gonna do a character not a lot of people know of. He's not one of the, it's the Guardians of the Galaxy role. We're gonna see how this works out. And it's so far, I think it's working out great. So they can then bring in the bigger names that you already know.
Yeah. Like, so this is gonna be real interesting. So yep, another great episode. Looking forward to episode 3 on Wednesday. So all right, let's talk about Halo. Episode 3, Emergence. And AKA, for my question of the week, what the heck is up with Halsey?
Yo. Was like her daughter the first failed experiment? Because that's what it feels like. And now she's making other, like...
you talk about... Bro, I thought Tywin Lannister was a horrible parent. She's horrible.
I'm like, wait, are they divorced?
No, they're married.
They're married. This family feel like, when you look up the word dysfunctional family, they be like, see, toxic and dysfunctional family. Yeah. And that's them. Because it does not, I'm like, I don't feel like they're, like, to me, it doesn't feel like they're married. Doesn't feel like that's even her mother. Like, it's such a huge disconnect in the family that I don't believe that they're like, what?
Here's my thing. It seems like her and her husband gets along, and it seems like he gets along with the daughter.
Yeah.
But it's still a toxic and dysfunctional family.
Does not feel.
I'm like, what the heck? Okay. So basically this week, in Halsey is clearly manipulating everybody and is up to something. We basically get Cortana, and they do show the Flash clone that they did. And this episode really does some creepy stuff. Like her assistant.
Cortana, no, like I know, like Cortana or whatever in the game kind of goes off AWOL and does whatever she wants.
Yeah. Yeah.
She is going AWOL doing whatever she wants now. Like we're not even gonna build up to the AI taking over and doing whatever it wants. Because she's like, I'll do what I'm supposed to. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. Forget you, John. Forget you, Halsey. Forget you. Like she's like, all of y'all. I'm doing what I want.
Here's the messed up thing. She was trying to go by her programming and directives, and they kept telling her not to do it. So then she's like, okay, fine, the hell with it. So
and by them constantly doing that, they themselves are changing her programming and directive.
Yes, not realizing it.
If you program something to always go right, but you constantly correct it to go left, it's going to start the program and go left. Especially if it's AI, that's what it's learning. That's what it's learning, and now it's going to do whatever it wants. So don't say nothing when it does whatever it wants.
But my thing is, I do like how they portray Cortana. She's like a breath of fresh air to me in this series because she's kind of the stuff she's doing is like unintentionally funny.
Yeah,
and I think it's working for me anyway. It's working. Quick question: is it just me, or do they hate kids in this world? Do the writers in this universe hate kids?
Yes.
Like, the episode opens out with a flashback. Now, this flashback is of Maki. That is the blessed one that that's hanging with the Covenant, and we see why she has the book. Hey, this episode gonna make you hate the military. I'm just gonna tell you that right now, because this episode's like, wow, y'all wilding like that. Y'all just beating the hell out of kids, huh? Mm-hmm. If you're not kidnapping them, you're beating them with cattle prods. What the world is going on in this world? So yeah, that explains her love of that book. It does not explain why she has blonde hair and why she decided to look like Lady Gaga. That doesn't explain that, but it does explain her hatred of humans and why she has that book and she's always reading it. Mm-hmm. Thank you for doing that, because that was weird the first 2 episodes. I'm like, why is she looking at that book? And why is okay? You know what? So there's that. As far as the CG, I think the CG is getting better and better with each episode because this week they showed all three prophets. We did get to see a couple more elites. I think they're getting better on the CG front with the aliens, especially when they introduce the hunter in this episode, because there's a thing that happens and you have to see it, and they do a real good job. I hate that enemy in the game, but they did a real good job with it.
Jay, this is a spoiler-filled show, so why you say you have to?
I don't know why did I say that. Look, why did I say that? Anyway, yeah, the hunter's in there, and I brought my blog back, people. So I've been having to make sure I don't spoil stuff in the blog. I can spoil stuff here, so apologies for that. That being said, she basically kills everybody on a Federation ship, on the UNSC ship, and it was glorious because they did not follow the rules of space horror. One, when somebody comes out of warp, and they're the only person on the ship that is the enemy ship, you blow that ship to smithereens. You don't let them get on your ship.
No.
Or you take them to a part of the ship that you can easily break off. Or you make them come into a part of the ship where you can actually blast them with freaking anything that can kill all pathogens. You don't just let them on your ship. Y'all deserve to die. I'm sorry. I don't have time for people being stupid now. Y'all got what y'all was asking for. But yeah, that was actually a cool sequence. In all fairness, though, that was actually a really cool sequence because the way she did it, I can see why people fall for it. I wouldn't have because I done seen alien horror movies, so yeah. I wouldn't. Like, nah, you ain't coming over here. We'll call you a BP interstellar gas. I'll use our AAA account and we'll get y'all taken care of. But you ain't coming on this ship. I know that much. How about this? How about I send you a pod and you can fly wherever the world you want to go to? But her whole thing, Maki's whole thing is trying to find that artifact. So her thing is she's going to Madrigal. After the whole thing with the ship, she's going to Madrigal. Now, I have a feeling that this whole Madrigal situation, the other plot point, I hope they're gonna make it make sense because right now it just feels like it's a filler part of the series. The whole Madrigal thing with Quan and the clearly evil Governor General. I'm like, dude that has villain written across his forehead. So it makes it feel like there's gonna be like it has that plot point, and then you have the chief plot point. Now they do have 9 episodes, so and these are an hour a pop, so it's at least they're doing it in a way that makes sense. But I do feel like the magical stuff is filler, and since they already did a Covenant raid, I don't know why we got to redo because there's gonna be another one. I don't know why we got to redo this, to be honest. The other plot point that I actually kind of enjoyed and I thought was actually interesting was they're trying to humanize Master Chief. And one of the ways they did it was take out his inhibitor, which you would have thought his inhibitor would be like somewhere near his head. No, they actually put it right above it in his lower back.
Yeah, on his spine.
Yeah, I don't understand that. But
I mean,
and it looks like a little bullet.
Where do you say they put it in the game? Or
well, Soren had said that it was like in the base of at the top of his neck. So I guess they changed it where they put it because he had his taken out too.
Yeah.
So I guess they changed where to put it, but it looks like a little bullet. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, interesting. But it was interesting seeing him walk around the facility and him seeing stuff and experiencing stuff because he had his emotions suppressed for so long, and then he realized something, goes back to the artifact, touches it, and apparently he found another one when he was a kid. So he's having memories of him being a kid. And this is the second series we didn't see where I'm liking the flashbacks a little bit more than I like the main show. Because the flashbacks are like, okay, this is actually interesting.
Yeah, I was like, oh, so he saw this as a kid, and so is that what makes him special, like the blessed one? Like something happened and then it came in contact?
Yep, and I'm thinking that's exactly what happened. So But it's also interesting to see that that planet that he was on, because he saw his parents.
Mm-hmm.
So they thought, now the way Halsey described it was they were supposedly mind wiped the Spartans. He shouldn't have those memories. And I'm guessing touching that artifact healed his brain or something, did something, because it brought him back.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking it's one of those situations where the government said, "Oh, this plague attack," and no, it wasn't a plague.
Mm-mm.
They probably had a wet works team come in and kill everybody there, and took the kids and threw them into the Spartan program.
Probably.
Because the way they've made this seem is like they weren't taking orphans; they were kidnapping people. That's why I said, I'm like, is it just me, or is the writers just hating kids? They just hate kids, because this is getting weird. This is getting like weirdly uncomfortable for me. So quick question for you, Vicky, as somebody who doesn't play the games. Do you think they're overdoing it with the Halsey manipulation stuff a little bit? Because I think they are.
No.
A little bit.
No, because they're just establishing absolutely how crazy she is and how disconnected from reality she is. Because like she created this Cortana who looked exactly like her illegally because she wasn't supposed to do it.
Yeah.
And then stabs it through the brain, through the eye, and kills it. Like,
yeah.
and like refused to see it as a being, even though she created it. So it's like she has such a disconnect from. I mean, does she have one of them pellets in her? Because she has such a disconnect from her family, from her daughter, from this being that she created, from like all emotions are like she just has no moral compass except for doing what she thinks she should do.
Well, that's kind of like and that's, I think this is a problem with me in this series, because when she's around her husband, she don't act like that. You notice that? Like the first episode, when she's around him, she don't act like that. She don't. Now, when she gets away from him, the two scenes she was around him, she was not acting like that. The soon as she gets around somebody else, it's like,
so she's just being fake with her husband.
I don't know, because the clone.
I don't know. It is.
Well, the reason why I say I don't know is because they have her and the clone actually have a discussion, and she starts telling her stuff that she was thinking about when she was a kid, and you can see she gets visibly upset that she knows that.
Yeah.
And it's like, wait a minute, because you always did want a child, so, but you still created me anyway, so what was the point? You know, so I'm like, okay.
There's some type of disconnect, and she said it's not there for her. Yes. I don't know what it is. I
got a bad feeling that either the husband or the daughter's gonna die at the end of this season. I got a bad feeling one of them gonna die.
Halsey's gonna have to choose between something she created and then her family, and she ain't gonna choose her family.
Oh no, she ain't choosing the family. Yeah,
choosing not one of them. And then it might be.
They might kill the dad
I think the dad's going to turn on Halsey to either protect the daughter, protect John, or whatever, and Halsey's going to take him out.
Yeah, because something's got to give with that. Like I said, something has to give with that. We already know her and the daughter don't have a.
Yeah, I don't think she's going to kill the daughter. She's going to kill the husband,
and or either the husband's going to die in front of her.
Yeah, or die or something. She's going to cover her up. It's going to be poor decisions done, and the husband is going to die as a result.
Yeah. Hi, young girls. How you doing? Hope you're feeling better. Yeah, that's why I was just like, because I've seen too many shows like this. I'm like, okay, the connective tissue is probably going to die, and the connective tissue for them is the husband / the dad, because, like I said, the first episode, she don't act like that around him. And the daughter clearly loves the father. She clearly loves her daddy. Yeah. So I'm like, so y'all gonna kill him? Is that what we doing?
Yep.
So yeah, I just have a bad feeling he ain't gonna make it. And I actually kind of like that actor, because he's actually he's a good actor. So
well, The fact that you like him means he ain't gonna make it.
Yeah, that he ain't gonna make it.
He ain't gonna make
and,
it.
and the fact that
But then that gives the daughter even more
reason to hate.
And work against her mother.
Yeah.
And kind of do backdoor, constantly doing stuff to work against her mother. Because she probably, as Halsey will probably lead to the death of the father.
Yep. Conflict equals ratings.
Yep, there you go.
But also, the other reason why I like the dad is because he seems to be like the only sane one in the entire military.
Another reason why he needs to go.
Yeah, which is another reason. If Game of Thrones has taught us anything, you cannot be too good. Because if you are that good of a person, you got to die. So
to go.
Yeah. Although I do hope he goes out like a champ. Like, don't give him no punk death where he like crying, don't kill my family. Have him go out taking out at least 3 elites. At least, like, have him go out like a G or like a champ or something. Don't let him go out like don't let him punk out. Please don't let him go out like a punk.
Now he's gonna be a sacrifice of some sort.
He can be a sacrifice, but as long as he takes something with him. As long as he takes a couple of them to go into glory with him. That's all. That's all I want.
No, you might be asking for too much.
Yeah, I know. I'm wishful thinking at this point. But yeah, other thing that I did like though, they actually got the original voice actress for Cortana to voice Cortana because I was afraid that they were gonna have the lady that does Halsey to voice. I was like, that's gonna be weird. So I'm actually glad they brought her in, and I actually liked. Let me ask you: did you like how they did it with her, like for her being able to just pop up whatever she wants?
Yeah,
I actually like that. Yeah, I actually thought that was actually cool because it was.
She reminds me of Alice from Resident Evil.
Oh yeah, Alice. She was creepy, but yeah,
yeah. I mean, she was a little kid that adds to the creep factor.
Yeah,
but yeah. So like, that's what she reminds me of.
Yeah, because she just pops in and out. Like he goes to meet his team, and she just pops up to try to introduce herself, which really that wasn't a problem.
No boundaries. No. Nah.
But the funny thing about it was that his three soldiers just sitting there looking at each other like, the hell is going on?
Yeah. And so let's talk about the woman, what's her name?
Mackie.
That's the blonde.
Yeah.
How she saw him remove the pellet. So is she gonna remove hers or like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's the one who keeps seeing that something's different and changing.
Well, she's the way she described it, she was the one that's been with him the longest. I guess outside of Soren, she would have been the one that's been with him the longest. The other two haven't.
Yeah. So I guess I wonder, like,
she's kind of. I like the way she's playing it because she's playing it like a person who's like she's playing it like she's an android that's seeing something that she wants to try.
Exactly. Like, questioning things like,
like, yeah.
And like, it's like, if Master Chief says it must be right. So if Master Chief cut out his pellet, I must do it too because he knows what he's doing. So I have to follow what he's doing.
Yeah.
And he will then turn around and convince the other two to do it. Like, you should do it too because.
Yeah. But I do like the fact that the four of them are close. They're tight. Like, they're not going to turn on each other. I like that.
Yeah.
And they need to keep that. They really do need to keep that. Just because I like that. But I would love to see them, like, without emotions react to each other. That would actually probably be hilarious and cool at the same time. Because they wouldn't know how to act. Because when you see them in there, when he goes into their barracks, they're all like robotic. They're doing a great job, by the way, of acting those scenes out. Because they are acting straight up robotic.
They are. I'm like,
except the brother, he can't hide his facial expressions. Like when Cortana saw him, he can't hide his face. Like, the hell? Like, y'all see this? Yeah, I know I ain't the only one who see this.
I'm like, you seeing this? You see? I'm seeing. You see me? I see you.
Y'all just saw this blue chick come here, right, with the black hair. Y'all saw this, right? It wasn't just me, right?
Right. Oh, right. Okay.
All right. Okay. I know I'm a Spartan, but y'all about to find out about black folks horror movie rules. I'm about to leave.
Ain't no way. I'm out. Ain't no way.
Like, wait a minute, you're not supposed to have emotions. Okay, I'm still gonna leave.
Yeah, I'm not dumb.
Yeah. Overall, though, I'm actually becoming more and more intrigued by what they're doing because they're leaving on good cliffhangers. It's all about how you leave them, people. No matter what stupidness that you see, is all in how you're leaving them. And they do a good job every episode, the last 5-10 minutes, putting something in there. You're like, okay, I got to see where this goes.
That's true.
So they kind of got me interested in seeing where, because at the end of this episode is basically, Chief is basically like, look, I'm going back to that planet. We're gonna either do this the easy way, and you come with me, or we do this the hard way while I steal another ship and y'all try to kill me. Please make the proper choice. And they decided to go with him. I still don't like Halsey's assistant. That dude is creepy. Just creepy. I mean, poster child for creepiness. And I do like the fact that the blessed one seems to be on a collision course with the demon chief. Because she basically said she's gonna kill him. And I'm like, you don't even know him. Like, you don't even know him and you want to kill him already? I'm like, let him be. Y'all get in a fight first, then find that out. But I do see why she hates humans. Because she was young when they did what they did. So she has a vested interest in it, but I do think she's going to get betrayed because of the simple fact that she's dealing with the Prophet of Mercy, and I still hate the Prophet of Mercy. Can somebody please strangle the Prophet of Mercy on this show, please? Sorry, he triggers my PTSD. But I think she's going to wind up getting betrayed by the Prophet of Mercy, and that's probably what's going to happen to her. Because she's way too devoted to the cause, and I'm sitting there looking at them three prophets like,
I'm like, yo, she expandable as I don't know what. Yeah. Because once they find what they need, like they only need you for the ring thing. Once they find that, they don't need you, sis.
Yeah, and she hadn't put 2 and 2 together yet. She clearly hadn't put 2 and 2 together yet. I'm like, you do know they're gonna kill you, right? I'm just letting you know. As soon as they find out Halo, you dead. Like dead. They hate all humans. Let that sink in. They hate all humans. What are you?
Hello.
So you might want to keep your head on the swivel, little lady. But I think that's where they're going with that story. I don't really care for. I hate to be like this, but I don't really care for Kwan, the Kwan character, just because I don't know why she's still there.
Oh, that's the daughter of the thing.
Yeah, the daughter. I'm like, I don't know why she's still there, because it feels like her stuff is a filler.
Well, I think it is for now. It's setting up what it all.
Unless she becomes like a quasi Spartan, I don't see what she's gonna do outside gate.
She's gonna be. That's exactly what she's gonna become. When I first saw her, that's what I thought. I was like, okay, she's gonna become some Spartan like something or another. That's what I thought. And she
right now
go back to her home or whatever, which is going to obviously draw in the Spartans. It might also, either make what's the UN whatever
UNSC.
Yeah. That sounds like college.
They were in March Madness. They got eliminated in the second round.
Either like make them look really bad, show some bad cracks. I mean, people already don't trust them, but it's gonna it'll be in color. People are gonna see how bad
in real time, basically.
Yeah, so I think that's only going to add to it. It might also either make the Spartans look really good, or John's going to step in the way when they send the Spartans in. John's like, no, you're not going to kill her. No, we're going to be on her side. And then he's going to fight alongside her against whatever.
Well, at this point, because of how they're doing it in this series, like a lot of people really don't know about the Covenant. Only like top military officials do, and those people that they raid. And remember, when they do a Covenant raid, they don't leave survivors.
Yeah.
So,
why wouldn't you tell as many people as possible? Like, hey, there's some killer aliens coming after us.
I guess so they won't cause hysteria and panic. Because the funny thing about it is, in the game, it's basically the reason why Halsey created the Spartans was to stop that insurrection that they talked about in the first episode. That was her response to it. What wound up happening was the Covenant showed up, and that's the only defense they have because like their stuff doesn't work against them. Like the regular,
but like you sometimes when your planet is being attacked,
yeah, it would help to tell people. Yeah,
tell people. So then you only add to people not trusting the government by not telling them. Now, if the aliens came and they didn't attack people,
that's
and
different.
you're talking with them, then you don't gotta tell people nothing.
Yeah.
But when they're just out, show it, do it live, let people see it, work hard to save people, and don't have them be, big upping the government, be like, nah, like, listen, this stuff is real.
Well, that's the other thing too. The problem is like the Federation has gotten so big they can't really get out to all those planets.
Yeah,
and that's the other problem. So like the Madrigal planet, that planet is like so far away from everything. So then it's an issue.
Okay, so then if that's the setup, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because in Star Trek, everybody knows about the Romulans.
Yeah, everybody does. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like everybody, like I guess if this is like the beginning of like the Klingons, and like we might have been on these other planets, but then like you just don't know about.
You know what?
Aliens.
That is a good way to explain it because. Like,
so it's like the beginning when they first met the Romulans and the beginning of the Romulan War.
Yeah, like picture it like that because, like, if you're just now meeting them and this alien race is just warlike anyway, and you meet them, they ain't gonna want to talk. And the problem with the Covenant,
they don't want to talk, is that not everybody knows about the Romulans yet.
Yeah, and
or
vice versa. Yeah,
the Borg. There you go. They are the Borg. Not everybody knows about the Borg yet.
Yeah.
So they're like, who's the Borg? What are you talking about?
They don't exist. They're fairy tales.
Yeah, they're fairy tales. Whatever. So if it's then okay. Yeah. Otherwise,
because basically that's essentially what happens before the first game. Nobody really believed them, and then when the Covenant came.
When things went really bad.
Yeah, really bad because they thought like the people on those outer planets thought that it was the Spartans doing that stuff. It wasn't. And the UNSC did not, the other flip side of that was they didn't tell anybody either. So guess what happened?
Yeah, which is the dumbest thing.
Yeah.
We're fighting some aliens. Like, if you have the alien body, why wouldn't you, like, when they do kill them, why don't you just leave the bodies and show the alien bodies?
Yeah, I mean,
like, there are so many different things that they could have done that everybody at the top needs to be removed because they made so many poor decisions that it was easily for any people would turn against them.
Basically,
but overall, did you enjoy the show? The episode?
I enjoyed. Like I said, it had its dumb moments, but like I said, the stuff with John. I like what they did with Cortana. We don't spend enough time with Bokeem Woodbine and anything, so they need to stop doing me like that. I like Bokeem Woodbine; he's awesome, and I just hate that they're sticking him in that storyline. It's interesting enough for me to watch the next episode. I'll put it like that. It's interesting enough for me to want to watch the next episode. Mm-hmm. So it's not bad, but it's not exemplary either.
Yeah. See, but for me, who doesn't know the game, is a good show so far, and I'm going to continue watching it because I don't have any. Well, this is how the game did it, and this is how it's done over here, and this I don't have any of that, so that does not.
You don't have anything to compare it to.
Yeah, that's not holding me back from just enjoying the show as is because I don't have any preconceived notions.
Gotcha. So yeah, overall, I would tell people to watch. I've been telling people, hey, you might want to check it out because it actually ain't that bad. Like the people that actually play the game, I'm like, it's not bad. It's just know that going in that they did tweak some things, which you would know they would tweak
Think
everything
of
for
it as
every
being in
adaptation.
the Halo universe,
Yeah,
and don't hold everything like, okay, it has to be exactly like the game. Which if it
and
wasn't
just
exactly like the game, it kind of gets stupid. So
yeah, and don't be surprised when you see stuff that they said they weren't going to do that they do. Just watch it as a TV show. So just watch it as a
you
TV
always
show.
plan not to do something, but then you're like, actually, this will actually work better if we do this. So
Yeah, basically. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. CG's getting better and better. So hey, as long as they keep it looking good. Now I do wonder if they're going to actually bring in any other aliens that are in the Covenant, like the Grunts, the Jackals, the Brutes, any of them. Right now, we're just working with the elites and the prophets. So I'm wondering if they're going to bring in any of the other ones. I still think they're probably going to wind up destroying Reach by the end of this season. I think just because that would be the thing that puts it on the map that it's a war against the Covenant, not against Spartan, not against the UNSC.
mm-hmm.
So I do think that that's probably what's going to wind up happening. And like you said, I think the Father of the Year is gonna die horribly.
Yeah, he's out. He's out.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, you too decent of a dude, man. You must be sacrificed. So I think that's probably what we're gonna get. So yeah, overall I enjoyed it, and I'll leave it at that. So I am going to let everybody know I am going to watch Sonic today, this afternoon. I'm gonna do that one. So like I said, the blog's back up, so I will have the spoiler-free version on there probably by tomorrow, probably go live by tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that. Winging the Podcast tonight, episode 100. So we have a few special guests dropping by. So please check us out, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you want to check out some gameplay from Smash Brothers Brawl version, that is, had a live stream last night. So please check that out over on the gaming channel. Vicky, anything you want to pimp out?
Oh yeah, as always, come on by Twitch Fangirl Review. I will be crocheting, and on Fridays it's a community game night. So we're playing The Forest right now, but we might beat it again pretty soon in the next 2 weeks, I think. So we can definitely play something else. So definitely come on by. Community nights, Friday nights, and Monday, Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. is Eastern Standard is craft night. I usually crochet, but I can do other crafts as well.
Cool. All right, people. We will see you next Sunday for episode, what is it, 4 of Halo and 3 of Moon Knight.
Yes.
So we will see you back then. Peace.
Bye.